There in the dressing room to emerge. Mathers is the Warrington fullback. Then it's Riley, King, Atkins, Hicks, Myler and Monaghan. There's no Lee Breers. Up front, Morley skippers the team. Clark and Harrison. There's no Gareth Carvell. Louis Anderson, Westwood and Vinnie Anderson. And on the bench, Hyam, Wood, Cooper and Solomona. The coach is Tony Smith. For the black and whites, Hall at fullback. They're a bit thin in the three-quarter line. Young Reece Lynn, Jordan Turner, Kirk Eamon and Tom Briscoe, though they're regulars, with Danny Washbrook and Sean Berrigan at halfback. The forwards, Mark O'Mealy, Danny Houghton, Lee Radford, Manu Tickle and Craig Fitzgibbon, the skipper. And the bench, it's Dowes, Luaki, Cusack and Moa. Four big forwards on the bench for the coach, Richard Agar. Well, I mentioned that Hull know that Warrington have got the Indian sign on them. They've lost their last 5 against Warrington, home and away, and they have lost on their last 5 visits to this ground. Craig Fitzgibbon leading them out. Their last win against Warrington came 3 years ago, 46-14, up at the KC Stadium. They really are struggling in the backs, but Sean Long and Richard Horne will be back for the visit of Leeds in a fortnight for the game that could decide 4th place. Well, this is Warrington's 400th weekly round Super League fixture. They've won 185 of them. They lost 2 in a row in Super League in July, but they have responded in the past couple of weeks. They beat Catalan Dragons in the Cup semi-final and Wakefield 38-16 last week to just about maintain their 2nd place over St Helens. And St Helens, of course, will play tomorrow at the Crusaders live on Sky. Now then, before the game, Warrington have called for a minute's silence in memory of Christine Cullen, the wife of their former coach and player Paul Cullen. Chris's funeral was held on Wednesday. Chris died a week ago last Wednesday after a long and courageous battle with cancer. She's remembered now by the supporters here, as Paul was part of the fabric of this place for many, many years, first as a player and latterly as their coach. A minute's silence then coming now in memory of Christine Cullen, and our deepest sympathies to Paul and his sons Joshua and Scott.
Coaches, directors and fans of Warrington Wolves and the wider rugby league community, our thoughts are with Paul and his family at this difficult time. On the referee's whistle, we will observe a 1-minute silence.
A 1-minute silence, impeccably observed in memory of Christine Cullen, a wonderful lady who will be sadly missed. Match referee is Ian Smith. And so here we go, Warrington 80 minutes away from the Showpiece Challenge Cup final, and they will get the game underway here with the boot of Benny Westwood. They're attacking in their usual primrose yellow and blue colours against Hull, predominantly white tonight, but flashes of black. So it's Warrington against Hull. Warrington 2nd in the table, and they want to hang on to that. Hull are after 4th. Here we go.
It's important that Hull really get off to a good start. They cannot allow this Warrington outfit to get the ball out wide. They've got so much power and speed. Matt King, Ryan Atkins, Chris Riley and Chris Hicks, of course. And Hull's only real chance is to try to suck the Wolves into a battle down the middle, into the forward, but I just can't see it. I think Tony Smith would have said, do your hard work in the forwards, and then the linking quality of Richie Myler and Michael Monaghan should do the rest.
This is Mark O'Mealy for Hull FC. He's missed 7 this year in June and July, but he's been prop forward in the last couple. Now Craig Fitzgibbon. O'Mealy, Fitzgibbon and Long, the big money signings for Hull FC this year. And as I said earlier, Long and Horn will be back for the Leeds fixture at the KC Stadium in a fortnight's time. This now Richie Mathers, who's on his way to Castleford in 2011. Players at this time of year all settling their futures, signing contracts, doing the negotiations, moving on to pastures new.
A little bit of hesitation there in the Warrington ranks. No one really was shouting. They can't just go into this game expecting an easy win. That's the one thing that Hull have done this year. They've really scrapped hard. You can't honestly say, and Richard Agar, their coach, realises that they can't string good wins together. They need to do that, sort it all out if they're going to end the run into the playoffs.
Ben Harrison on his 100th career appearance plays the ball there to John Clark. And Richie Myler with the kick downfield, and that is far too long. Shepherded over the dead ball line by Craig Hall.
Interesting to see how Richie Myler handles this game. Whether he'll start to take the first receiver more than not, try to organise it. Well, he's milked the penalty.
Vinnie Anderson, one of the men who's on his way out of Warrington at the end of this year. He's off to Salford in 2011 to work under Sean McRae. And there is Richard Agar, the Hull coach. Knows he's battling in terms of the backs, but the forwards, he said they will come and give Warrington a bit of a shake here tonight, all being well. Here is Fitzgibbon.
Well, they've got the experience for the man that's just about to play the ball, haven't they, Fitzgibbon? And also keep your eye out for Danny Houghton, the hooker.
Good ball from him there from dummy half to Berrigan. This now is Willie Manu. Just only 2 this year, the Tongan. Yeeman at dummy half. And he'll have a little scamper forward, halted by the tackle of Ben Harrison. Houghton is there again. Hull inching their way towards this Warrington line with Fitzgibbon. Back he comes to Berrigan. The kick slides through. And Mathers is there to make sure there's nothing other than a goal line dropout coming. There's Sean Long in the cap in the middle.
Great tactics by Hull. Richard Agar will be very, very happy with that. Halfback Berrigan puts a very neat kick in. Good positioning, though, by Richie Mathers. But this is the type of play that the black and whites have to utilise throughout this game. Keep turning the Warrington side around and around all the time.
Goal line dropout then from Richie Myler. Gets good length on it, but finds Radford just inside his own half of the field. And Radford really a stuttering run then. I don't know whether he picked up an injury then or something or other, but it wasn't a full pelt Lee Radford, that's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it looked a little bit, well, very sluggish.
But I think, Eddie, he's actually had the idea of offloading, getting to the tackle and offloading to Reece Lynn, but he didn't quite get his arm free.
This is Berrigan attacking the Warrington defence. It's Louis Anderson and Myler. Great offload, though. This is Fitzgibbon. Decent start, this, by Hull FC. That was Radford again. And this is Manu.
Pretty solid defence, so they're in a unit. It's been such a feature for Warrington this year. Good run by the hooker.
It is Houghton trying to poach one direct from dummy half, 11 metres out. Halted just short of the line on the last. Lee Radford, dummy half, coming this way, trying to stab the ball in. Goal line dropout coming at King, very quick to ground the ball in the in-goal area.
Nice little kick again. Matt King, very, very smart.
Great start from Hull. 2 back-to-back sets, building the pressure on Warrington. On the back of a penalty, got down to the right field of position. Already we're seeing 1 and 2 passes in and around the middle of the field. We've opened up the fringes for Berrigan and for Washbrook to find those kick plays at the end.
Just having a look at that run from Radford from the last goal line dropout, and I say he did look a little bit rusty. This is O'Mealy now for Hull. Good hit by Ben Harrison. There is Radford, still out there and always willing. Supporting here as Danny Tickle drives the ball forward, goes down on the second tackle. Westwood was low down. Now it's Craig Fitzgibbon and Radford again. Radford more urgency about that, but Morley cut him down.
Just saying, Radford looking to try to get the offload there, but there was no second phase. They're giving it plenty of air of Hull, but they're not getting across that advantage line.
Here's Radford again. Now it's Fitzgibbon. Good ball then from Washbrook. Tickle is dropped to the ground on the last 11 metres away. Washbrook again will have a go and passes the ball on his inside, but they've got offside against Warrington.
Well, this is the 19th consecutive play, Eddie. That's a quick tap. Now, the referee says he hasn't blown his whistle.
Well, quick thinking there by Danny Houghton, but
O'Mealy on the charge.
Clark has got it absolutely spot on. Can't tap the ball before the whistle's gone.
Yes, he's got to make the mark, and now here we go with Fitzgibbon. Solid Warrington defence. Good test of their defence here in the opening moments at the Halliwell-Jones Stadium. Houghton, good ball. Possibility of a try. Low and knock on, says the referee. And Richie Mathers celebrates all that, and Lee Radford is frustrated.
Had the opportunity to realise that, and he's probably surprised that Richie Mathers has come up with a real blockbusting tackle. Now then, it was Ben Harrison actually that made the impact. Was there a little stray hand in there? That's the reason perhaps that Lee Radford was furious.
What's important now for Hull is after having over 20 players at their opponent's try line and not scoring, that they maintain some intensity here now in defence. They obviously have their opponents, there's a drain on their energy from what they've just done for the last 5 minutes. But they're here now, that's it from Kirk Yeaman. They have to get in and really intensify the pressure on the Wolves.
Well, Hull will know, as Leeds lead 6-0, their opponents next week, Hull will know that Warrington will have an eye on what's going to happen a week tomorrow. But the strategy from Tony Smith in naming bar Breers and Carvel his strongest lineup indicates that Tony Smith and Warrington are after second in the table. No question about that.
Yeah, you're right, Ian. And I must say that you've got to keep an eye on this Ben Harrison. He's been outstanding all season. Also, the man that's playing the ball, Ben Westwood. Superb form. Oh, it's a straight pass.
It's an awful pass, but it's turned into something by Warrington. Here goes Ryan Atkins, the ball back on the inside, then great hands, but Vinnie Anderson puts it down. And Craig Hall picks up the pieces for Hull.
Golden opportunity, but it just shows you what the attractive rugby league football that Warrington are playing this year. They're full of confidence. They know that there's always somebody there when they're either ball back on the inside or outside. They really work hard in support.
Radford again seeing plenty of it, taking the battle forward to Warrington at every opportunity, denied by the knock-on just a few moments ago. Danny Houghton's at dummy half. This is Washbrook, flat pass, brings Tickle into it. Good hit there by Richie Myler. And Houghton with the scampering run from dummy half. He's been one of their stars this year, Danny Houghton, one of the most improved players in the Super League this year. That's Washbrook, this is Tickle, over the top they go. And that's Yeaman. Oh, great defence again.
Has he got it down, though? This is very, very close indeed. Boy.
Tom Briscoe.
Super pass out wide.
Did Tom Briscoe get it down before the tackle came in?
I think he did. I think he's got it. Tickle's quick pass has caught them out. That is try time.
Or has he lost it? Did it leave the fingers?
We'll soon find out. No. Oh, slow it down. Fingertip control. That's try. I think this might be given. Ben Thaler, video referee tonight.
You certainly have to give him the benefit of the doubt. There's no gap, is there, between the fingers and the ball. I'm
with you, Clark, here. I think this is a wonderful effort. Briscoe has got that ball down as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't matter to me, it's Ben Thaler that counts. But when you stop it there, that to me has been touchdown. It's a try. Well, they've worked hard.
Ben Thaler's the man with the opinion that counts. What does he say? The try is given to Tom Briscoe, the 50th start of his Hull career. 13 tries in Super League. That's his first since Odsal on the 4th of July. Hull's top scorer. 8 tries from 13 last year, showed his potential. And Tom Briscoe's try has given Hull the lead here at the home of the Warrington Wolves. And the defence has been under pressure from the very first minute.
That'll be a great relief as well for Richard Agar, the Hull coach, because all this pressure, he'd probably be thinking that there's not much to it, but that was good work by Briscoe. Beautiful long pass by Danny Tickle. Superb, and look at the step there. Left Riley for dead, bang, gets it down. Tremendous. Unbelievable here, but that is quality.
Well, Tom Briscoe, just 20 years of age, 4 times an English international. As I say, the 50th start of his career, and showing great strength then, and quickness of hand to get the ball down.
Well, the fact that he has number 3 on his back tells you that probably they think he's going to be a centre. But I'll tell you what, any winger in world-class rugby would be delighted with the quality of that finish.
Here's Danny Tickle doing what he does quite well, kicking from the touchline and in off the post. Danny Tickle, he's scored in each of the last 20 games, including the goal line penalty against Crusaders last week.
See, Riley goes in, and then when he does a quick step in and out. Oh, that's brilliant. Great try.
So Briscoe's try improved by the boot of Danny Tickle in off the post, and the Black and Whites lead here by 6 points to 0. A ground, as I said earlier, where they have lost on their last 5 visits.
Well, as underdogs, Hull had to approach this in 8 10-minute sections, and in the first 10 minutes they've been clearly the best side. In fact, their opponents haven't had the ball in their own half of the field, so as long as they continue to play that way, they've got every chance of going on to win.
It's been all Hull, as you can see. Possession in the opposition half. It has been Hull from start to finish. Fitzgibbon to his feet, plays it to Houghton. Radford shows it, takes on Matt King, takes on Ben Harrison, gets the ball away brilliantly, smuggled that away somehow to Kirk Yeaman. They look up for this, the Black and Whites.
Certainly does, in the centre. Kirk Yeaman is up for a big game. He's been involved in a lot of things as well.
Willie Manu now.
And the ability to test the opposition and to offload.
Last tackle here. Washbrook with the kick, angled, straight to Chris Riley. Chris Riley, who has been ever present this year, with Ryan Atkins just inside him. That's Myler. Here is Atkins in his debut season at Warrington.
Good work there by Jordan Turner in that chase through. But allowed Chris Riley. It looked as though he was going to step through in the instance, but well, it's what we expected from Warrington. They're trying to get the ball out wide. But at the moment, the Black and White's defence is pretty solid. They're moving up quickly.
This is Matt King. He goes down under the tackle from Fitzgibbon. Clark's at dummy half. Now it's with Monaghan. Here is Harrison. Harrison up the middle. Last tackle for Warrington. They're 10 metres inside Hull's half.
Will it go for height? Will it go up? Yes, it will.
It's a bit long, though, from Monaghan, but it's got good hang time. Reece Lynn's underneath it. And the youngster pouches it. 17 years of age, looking for new boots earlier this week with Angela Powers on a shopping trip in the city of Kingston upon Hull. Here's the try scorer, Briscoe now. That's a good take from Reece Lynn.
And it was, but as you say, Eddie, a touch too far.
Steve-O, did you ever have to buy your own boots when you were a player?
My word.
You didn't have I thought you would have been the sort of person to have a massive sponsorship deal.
They didn't have sponsors when I played.
Oh, right, okay. I'm sorry, I forgot you were a yesterday's hero.
Excuse me, your sponsors were your parents, if you must know.
Nothing changes there.
I'll get you back, don't worry.
Nothing changes there.
Don't get you back. Well, they're pretty good tactics by the Black and Whites. The kick and chase have been good. And they keep it up for the full 80 minutes. That'll be the big question. But Warrington, they need to get a good field position. They've only been down there twice.
Yes, they're struggling to get out of their own half, aren't they, at the moment, the Wolves? But Leeds are walking away with it against the Catalan Dragons. Makes a very, very interesting last weekend of the regular season when Hull will take on the Rhinos, the way it's shaping up at the moment. This is Vinnie Anderson.
Much better position. Second phase getting over that advantage now then. Will they get the link? Yes, they will.
Myler goes wide and he finds Louis Anderson. Here is Ryan Atkins. Atkins, well, the pass was behind Chris Riley.
Well, he did everything right until it came to the offload. It's always a problem, isn't it? As soon as they make half the break, to be fair, Riley's in a good position and it just sits thrown behind him. It's a poor pass. He's been in top form, though, this fella, Brian Atkins.
Yeah, he hasn't scored in the last 4, though, but he has got tries in 6 of the last home games. Lee Breer's on the shoulder of Tony Smith in the coach's, I wouldn't say dugout, but it's up in the roof of the stand. So what would you call that? An eyrie? Will that do?
Yeah.
Any better suggestions?
No.
There it is.
Here it is.
Cockpit, Eddie.
Cockpit, that'll do. Brian?
Blankety blank, and he's gone blank.
An elevated phone box of some description.
Now then, Craig Hall. That's a good run from him. Halted by the tackle of Richie Myler. Danny Tickle taking him on himself. Was that a bit high from Clark? It was certainly round the neck and from behind.
Looking to get away with it, but full credit to the black and whites yet again. They're looking for the offload, and they've got good support.
Danny Houghton gives it to Sean Berrigan. Up it goes off the boot of Berrigan. That is too deep. But it means that Hicks has to come across and pick it up. And then Fitzgibbon picks him up with a bit of help from Sam Moa.
Now this is where Warrington are always dangerous. They don't mind swinging it out as quickly as possible, even though they're in their own quarter. The defence is working hard.
Well, Hull are really testing the patience of the crowd, and they're testing the patience of the referee, Ian Smith, at the moment. There's 3 in the tackle there. Referee shouts move, and eventually they do. They're delaying Warrington to play the ball. There's Morley. Offside and a ball steal. Ball steal, says the referee. First penalty for Warrington. 2 for Hull. First that for Warrington.
Kicked it deep as well as Myler. They'll probably do one drive and maybe do the switch back on the blind side.
So Clark finds Ben Westwood. He bounces off the first tackle that was Manu's. Clark again finds Monaghan. Monaghan then pops it up to Morley. It's the first time that I can remember that Warrington have threatened this whole line with any venom. And it's with Matt King, and he gets the ball away eventually to Chris Hicks, who does well to hang on to it. Hicks then straightens it up. Good tackle by Manu low down. Finished off by Yeeman, who came in a little late. Monaghan, long pass to Myler. Myler goes through up the middle. Good tackle that was needed by Fitzgibbon. Should have been a penalty.
It'll allow the advantage, I think. He may come back to this.
Harrison, shape to kick.
Was it touched by a Hull player?
No,
it's on the last. Crowd don't like it.
Clark, Monaghan stabs the kick in. And it's collected by Rhys Lynn, who grounds the ball, I think, more by luck than good judgment, because he slipped as he collected it. But it's a goal line dropout coming up.
Nice option, though, from Monaghan. It was well weighted, bobbling all over the place. Was it touched? I think it was touched by a Hull player. Should have gone back to Tick. I think Kirk Yeeman got a hand to that. Frustration on the face of Tony Smith. I think he realises that they should have got an extra 6, but they will now from the dropout. And not surprisingly, Hull are not rushing, but the referee is fully aware. He's stopped the clock. Now he's brought it back into play.
And the dropout arrives at Morley on halfway. The Warrington skipper takes on Fitzgibbon.
Gets through a ton of work, doesn't he, Adrian Morley?
Here's Ben Westwood now. Good solid work. Leads 18-0 up against the Catalan Dragons. Here, Hull leading by 6 points to 0. Monaghan, Myler to Mathers. Mathers with a little hop, skip and a jump. Gets the offload away to Ryan Atkins. Hull under pressure in defence. This is Monaghan, went over his shoulder.
Knock on, he says.
Oh, he's given a knock on.
He's furious as Monaghan, but, you know, I think Ian Smith may have got this right. Even though he went behind his head, I think the actual first impact, yeah, I think he's got it right. The ball hits Monaghan on the head, I think. No, he's lost control of that.
He's lost control of it, but that ball was going backwards for me. It's Ian Smith's version of events that matters.
He's the only one that counts.
Correct. That's Jordan Turner with the head guard on, incidentally, on that far side. Warrington now looking for the mistake in defence from the black and white.
Yeah, it's interesting to see whether Hull can have the power to get over anywhere near the halfway line. Up to now, their kick and chase game has been good, but it certainly helps their cause if they can get somewhere in and around or even over that advantage line.
Great offload by Moa, finds Washbrook. Well, if Warrington wanted a physical challenge ahead of next week's Challenge Cup final, they are getting it. Here's Fitzgibbon now. Goes down on the last, right on halfway. Houghton with the kick.
It's a beauty as well.
Yes, Mathers will have to pick it up near his own goal line. Looking for support, it's there from Hicks. Takes the tackle 10 metres away.
Smart work by the hooker, Danny Houghton there. He played the ball just about on the halfway line. He sneaked about 10 metres forward before he put the kick in.
Riley plays the ball to Monaghan. Here is Ben Harrison. High.
That was a high shot, silly play.
Willie Manu.
You do all that hard work, get yourself into a good position for the kick and chase, and then Manu goes high on the big fella, Ben Harrison.
You know what, I don't think, though, when you look at Warrington players, they expected it to be quite as tough as what this has been. The opening quarter has been harder than probably subconsciously they imagine. Everyone's seen Hull's recent performances. They watched them on Sky when they were blown away by Wigan. And this has been a much better performance here from the black and white. It's impressed me in the opening quarter, and it's probably a bit harder than what the Wolves had wanted.
And to be fair, if Hull really do have ambitions of getting to Old Trafford, and with when you think what they have done this year without Horn and Long for so many periods, they can only be happy with the way that the season has gone so far, the black and white.
Well, more importantly than convincing me, the Wogs outside to White.
Riley down the line, and the try for Chris Riley. He's in a rich vein of form, this fellow. Tried each of his last two, and tries. That is in the 9th home game of the year. He actually got 5 tries against Harlequins here earlier in the campaign. Chris Riley, possibly, even though he's got number 2 on his back, would not have been in the side right at the start of the season had everyone have been fit. He probably wasn't first choice winger, but boy, his 24th try of the campaign, hasn't he done well this year?
And this is what it all came about. A silly play by Manu, gave them 40 metres downfield, put them into a good position, and it was something that we always knew was going to be an action show, and that was to get the ball out wide very quickly indeed. We say do with great aplomb. Super stuff. Anderson feeding, and Riley said, I'll take the 4. He knows the way to the line, this fella.
Hasn't he got some pace, Chris Riley?
Yeah, as soon as he gets it. Bang, look at that, he's off. Great stuff. You can see that Tom Briscoe, he'd gone into the centre. He thought Ryan Atkins was going to get a short ball. It wasn't. Going to be a long ball to this fella, Chris Riley. Outstanding play. And that's what they can do to you, this Warrington outfit this season. So quick.
Chris Riley scoring in the final home game of the weekly rounds. Wembley next week. Harlequins away to follow. A victory here would mean they have equalled their previous best home Super League record, losing just 3 times at home if they claim the win. They're trailing here 6-4. This kick from Ben Westwood, though, to level the scores. It's as difficult as Danny Tickles was up the other end. He's developed, hasn't he? Ben Westwood. He has developed into a kicker this year. He's kicked goals in each of the last 7. 39 for the campaign now.
All you have to do is miss out the centre. You can see there that Briscoe had gone in. He thought Atkins was going to get received, but he didn't. And Riley, boy, he has got pace, this kid.
6-all.
You know what, if any amateur or junior coaches are watching, take note that the 2 tries that have been scored have both come from passes by second-row forwards. Nice to see forwards now in the game, encouraged to throw the passive ever. They're not just simple running machines who have to take the ball forward and gain the metres. If the option's on, display the skill, and it's led to 2 quality tries from wingers.
6 apiece, Ben Harrison with the football. Brian, if you were Tony Smith, you would be happy with this workout they're getting?
You'd be really happy, because I agree with Phil. I think Hull have come to perform tonight. We've seen that with their kicking game, with their prowess. They've had a couple of penalties that have given Warrington field position, which you don't want to do because they hadn't been having any field position. And what we know when Morley can get this team forward is they will go to the fringes, they will test your defence on the edge, and they're doing just that now.
It's with Myler, though, but it's a kick straight down the middle and not the best, right into the arms of Craig Hall. Myler following up his own kick, helping out with the tackling with Ben Harrison. And this now is Rhys Lynn. He got the Only Hull try against the Crusaders last Friday, and he got a try on his debut against Salford.
And I think, Eddie, he'll win the Young Player of the Year competition in Super League in the next 3 years. He's got so much potential, and I'm sure he's got, I believe, an attitude to go with that potential. He will go all the way.
And he has got time on his side, having been only 17 at the middle of this campaign, the back end. So he's got time to pick up that award. Berrigan charged down and gobbled up by Anderson. That's Vinnie Anderson. Charged down by Monaghan.
Great work from Monaghan, though, wasn't it? A little bit sloppy there, Hull.
He's the key for Warrington, Michael Monaghan, when Breers isn't on the field.
Certainly is, and his combination today with Richie Myler is important, but, you know, it's little things like that can just change the game. You know, they should have had Warrington way back downfield, and he put himself about to make sure that they now have possession.
And they are the charge down kings as Matt King gets the ball. In fact, if you watch the reserve game that's played before this, they do exactly that. They scored against Wakefield last week from a charge down. They've put a lot of focus on it.
Good feet from Monaghan, good ball from Monaghan to Louis Anderson. Louis Anderson taking him on. Oh, the flick back goes to Jordan Turner. Atkins is after him, and Atkinson dumps him into touch. That's tremendous defence from Ryan Atkins.
Not the best pass in the offload. And Turner got it. Said it's a beauty for me. Up it goes. He put himself in a good position to Turner. But what a great effort there. Super stuff from Ryan Atkins. Look at him just chase him. There was no way in the world he was not going to go over the whitewash. Great stuff.
There's no way in the world he was going to allow him to come back on his inside, was there? He showed him the line, said, well, if you think you're quick enough, have a go.
But the alarm bells are ringing now. That's the third occasion that Warrington have gone on that left-hand side in attack.
And here they go again with Ryan Atkins. It's with Harrison now. That's a good hit on Harrison.
Keep your eye on Richie Mathers.
Sam Moore it was.
No, they've gone blindside.
There's Myler, back to Monaghan. Monaghan to Westwood. Westwood to Mathers. He hangs on and showed it to Hicks. Goes himself and is held up by solid Hull defence, but scrambling Hull defence for all of that. Penalty here. They wouldn't let him get to his feet quickly. They have been doing that, to be fair, for much of the game.
Well, he's allowed a certain amount of latitude, hasn't he, in the favour of the Hull defence. There's been a bit of a warning on the run as Ian Smith, the referee.
Monaghan gets it away to Paul Wood, who's just on. He goes down on the second tackle, bang underneath the Hull sticks. Mickey Hyam looking both ways, finds Monaghan, finds Matt King. He is cut down by Kirk Yeeman.
Problem for Monaghan. He's on his haunches. He got a knock on the ankle, I think it was.
This is Paul Ward. Legs pumping, Paul Wood trying to get to the line. Nearly lost it then under pressure from Peter Cusack. Hyam, Myler, short ball. It's Solomona, isn't it, out there?
Well spotted by Jordan Turner. He knew it was going to be a short pass. Solomona to the deck. They're going close to the hooker.
Hyam. It's the turnover right on the Hull FC line. Mickey Hyam trying to play his way, just as he did this last year, having missed the Cup semi-final, playing his way into Wembley last year, trying to do the same again in 2010, number 14 for Warrington.
It wasn't a bad option, sorry Phil, it wasn't a bad option to try to go on his own. There's a problem for Michael Monaghan.
Well, they're giving him time to try and
get
run
away.
it off.
Yeah.
Well, if you imagine that Lee Breers is going to be fit for next week and that the guys on shore are also fit and available, there's going to be some disappointment for a hooker or a halfback, because I would imagine Lee Breers will make that 17, and somebody like a Clark, a Hyam, Myler, maybe even Monaghan, the competition for one of those four shirts is very, very intense.
This is Danny Houghton. Goes down on the last. Hull being restricted now to inside their own half after the 10-minute spell they had at the start of the game, where they dominated Warrington in Warrington territory. This is Riley.
Well, you can see the difference. They've upped the tempo as Warrington in their defensive line, not allowing Hull any latitude getting to the opposition half.
Chris goes down on the second tackle. They're on halfway, though, Warrington. Monaghan appears to have run that injury off. This is Westwood.
Slowly and surely, the forwards are now getting getting the better of their opposition, Warrington. Look at that. This is where they suck them in, suck the defence in, and then the likes of Monaghan, Myler, they'll do a long pass out wide.
It's Myler to Solomona, short pass that beat everybody, and Tom Briscoe's got it back for Hull. Jordan Turner now. Well, if you were Tony Smith and you'd be happy with the workout they're getting, you maybe wouldn't be so happy with the fact that they're just a little bit off the pace at the moment by their own high standards.
I'm not so much that they're off the pace. I think you've got to give credit to Hull. I think they've been vigorous in defence. They've scrambled on every play that they've had to do, and they've been around when they've been breaks have been made.
The first knock on by Warrington, no advantage.
Well, he's given us no advantage. At first knock on was by Warrington, no advantage. Hull FC scrum.
Come down.
I thought they'd got over the advantage line here, and what's more, they'd passed the ball there.
Well, I thought that nullified anything.
They're over the half. Well, they're over the advantage line.
Because he's lost possession, as he hasn't got to. There hasn't been a pass, Eddie. The ball's been knocked free. They haven't had the advantage of that play.
We had that debate, didn't we, last week at Wigan? This is Luwaki. Gets a good ball away to Briscoe. Hicks and King deal with that threat.
It's important now the black and whites just settle in, stay down there for a while. Oh, that's milked. Chris Hicks knows it, that he's being conned. Watch this. Struggle, spin around, and then Briscoe does a little bit of a dive to the ground.
Eddie, this is a key moment here in the game for Hull. There are not going to be many occasions when you get 6 plays so close to your opponent's try line. It's where most tries come from in rugby league, and it's a great opportunity, you know, for the black and whites to show us they've got the try-scoring ability to win this match.
Well, the first drive is from Dowes, the second drive is from Cusack. That's 2 tackles gone. They're 5 metres away from the line. Houghton bullets the pass to Washbrook. Washbrook then gets it away to Danny Tickle. Tickle is grounded by the 3rd tackle. Vinnie Anderson was in there, but it was Richie Myler. Now, Fitzgibbon trying to just dance his way through the defence. Big test of the Warrington rear guard this. Houghton goes short. Washbrook. And Wood has lost him. Hyam is there, so too Myler, so too Atkins, so too Mathers, so too Anderson. Last one here.
Kick.
Little dab to the in goal. Cusack was after it. The ball is just nicked dead. It's a goal line dropout.
Beautiful work by the hooker, Houghton.
3rd goal line dropout that Hull have forced here.
Good job that Monaghan was there to clean up. Cusack was very close to that. Well, they must be very pleased with their performance. Richard Agard, especially their coach.
Yes, they must be, but some worrying injury news for Warrington, maybe. Bill?
Well, they're relieved to see Ben Harrison come back out of the dressing room looking none the worse for blowing the small of the back by the look of things. In a lot of discomfort when he came off the field a few moments ago. And any time a Warrington player goes down with what's at stake next week and maybe to come as far as the grand final goes, any thought that a Warrington player might pick up an injury tonight is greeted by a bit of concern around me.
I'm sure it is. Bearing in mind what happened to the Leeds Rhinos at Castleford last week. They lost Jamie Peacock and Luke Burgess. That's a great ball. Here is Craig Hall. He's round Mathers, but he can't get away from Monaghan. And
Good
Mathers
job
stuck to his guns, to be fair. Oh, he went for the intercept there to Chris Hicks. This is Yeaman.
Lucky to get away with that. He forced Hull to go back towards the sticks rather than come out on this left-hand side.
Houghton to Dowes. Dowes will drive it in. Not the best ball to Cusack. That's the last tackle for Hull.
Another kick from Houghton, surely.
Well, Houghton's the dummy half. He goes right and he finds Washbrook, who finds Craig Hall. It's opened up for Hall. Now then, the referee hasn't given it. He's just checking an obstruction in the build-up. Something he saw out the corner of his eye, Ian Smith. So Ben Thaler with another decision to make.
Good little run by Houghton again. No, there's nothing wrong with there. Fitzgibbon has gone through without touching anybody. Has he taken out Richie Myler? That's going to be the big question. Tickle, I think, has taken out Myler. Now the ball is a long way away from Myler. Could he have got there? That's the big question that Ben Thaler, the video referee, has got to make the decision over.
Well, if they follow the letter of the law that we've seen all year, this should be no try because Myler's been taken out.
Well, Myler goes back on his backside, makes a big issue of it. No try should be, but what say Ben Thaler?
He agrees. Penalty kick defence, there was obstruction. Tickle, the man who took the player out, and Richard Agar sees a decision go against him. There's the crucial moment there, Tickle on Myler.
Shown how dangerous Craig Hall can be here. We've had a line break prior to this in this set. Sean goes back on the inside. You know what, if it was American football and you had one team for attack and one team for defence, Craig Hall would get picked certainly in the attacking side of it. Dangerous when he has the ball in his hands.
Thought he was almost on the verge of 50 career tries then, because he came into this match needing 2.
Well, it certainly lifted spirits because it was at a time where Warrington looked as though they were taking control of this game. Forwards certainly working hard, and oh, that's a big mistake. Is that a knock-on? It is.
Is that a knock-on? I know it's going to be given as one. I just want to question that again, Steve. It's a late offload from which Warrington have become famous this year. He's going to ground, releases the ball out.
I think it hits a knee as well. I think he loses control and hits a knee.
Goes backwards though, doesn't it?
Yes, it's a big decision by Ian Smith. Watch this.
He's throwing it backwards initially. Comes off the leg of a Hull player. Anyway, Hull have the ball and they need the breaks tonight if they want to win here.
And they won't be complaining.
No, it was Hugh Dowes as the knee in question. Got
There's
away with it.
Dowes.
Great tackle, Anderson.
It is. Vinnie Anderson might be in his latter days as a Warrington player, but getting stuck in tonight. This is Fitzgibbon.
He's led by example as this fella. He really has got through a lot of work.
Houghton gives the pass to Washbrook. Flat ball then to Tickle. 3 tackles remaining, they're 20 metres away. Cusack will drive it forward. This is Berrigan. Berrigan then to Luwaki. Luwaki tries to come inside. Monaghan stands so strong. Down it goes eventually. That's the last.
Give it a bit of height. They've gone for the low one all the time.
And Berrigan goes low again. And that was gobbled up by Ben Westwood.
Oh, he said he's knocked on. He's had the call from the touch judge on this near side. Ben Westwood doesn't like it. Neither do the fans underneath this commentary box. Oh, we'll have to wait and see. He's definitely gone for it. Yeah, he's knocked on. Just a little one.
Great pressure from Hull as we approach half-time, Brian.
Fabulous pressure. They've been wanting this. They want to finish the half with, try and get over the line, but Warrington have had to scramble really, really well, haven't they? They're really hard.
Well, it certainly comes off Westwood's leg, and then he just drags the ball with his forearm.
Well, can Hull make anything of this intense pressure as we approach half-time? This is Yeeman. Leads are 30 points to 6 up against the Catalan Dragons. 5 to go. And here we've got 4 to go. And Hull examining this Warrington defence. Great ball. Great try, Luwaki. Fitzgibbon with the offload. And Epelhami Luwaki. He's only started in the second row twice this year.
Was it a forward? That's a big question. Either way, it's on the scoreboard. Fitzgibbon offload has pleased the coach Richard Agar. It was a superb move. Fitzgibbon looked as though he was going down to take the tackle, offloaded one hand, but was it forward? It certainly looks suspect from my angle, but according to Ian Smith, the man with the whistle, this is a knock-on from Westwood. Watch the right arm, that's enough. And then watch for this offload here. Big fella Fitzgibbon comes straight through. As he going down? Oh, that is going to be 50-50 at best.
Well, you've just got to say again, though, Eddie, you don't have to pass the ball backwards in rugby league. That's a mistake a lot of people think. You can't pass it forwards. So I think on that angle, the referee and the touch judge have got it right. It's not a forward pass. He catches it slightly behind his body. And I think it's taken half an hour for some of these Hull players to believe that they can win here today. This try here now should send them in at half-time with even more increased confidence.
Epelhami Luwaki. He played twice for New Zealand and he's played 3 times for Tonga. He was with the New Zealand Warriors in 2009 when he joined the Black and Whites. And Danny Tickle now with the opportunity to increase the lead before half-time to 6 points. Danny Tickle, if you look on his CV, he played for the Northern Union against the All Goals here back in 2007. Tickle, it's a 6-point lead as Hull approach half-time at Warrington. 12-6, the black and whites.
And fully deserved, because I've been so impressed with the way that the black and whites have been looking to offload. You know, over the past 4 to 5 weeks, they've been very sluggish in this department. Didn't look to have the energy to follow the ball carry, but tonight they're certainly doing that. And he has capped off a wonderful, wonderful offload from this fella, Craig Fitzgibbon.
Richard Agar, James Webster alongside him. It's been announced that James Webster will be staying on as Richard Agar's assistant next year. And at the moment, as we approach half-time, 2 minutes to go here, it's the tale of two Challenge Cup finalists. Leeds coasting to victory against the Catalan Dragons. Warrington in a real battle against Hull FC. 12-6. This is Luaki again, and he gets away from 2 and he gets away from 3. It's a very good job that Westwood was there.
Great upper body strength, hasn't he? He's a hard man to put down. And I think Warrington coach Tony Smith will be very, very happy to get them in the dressing sheds at half-time and just sort of feel things out. Another great kick. Dissected the winger and the fullback. How's the chase? It's good. It has been throughout his first 40 minutes.
Tony Smith's on his way down to greet the players as they leave the field. Doesn't look too impressed. Knows his men are in a real battle here tonight. This is Cooper. High and waits. Westwood.
I think he'll change a few things in the half-time break, of course, and a little bit more urgency at the play the ball area as well.
Great ball from Solomona, good ball from Mathers to Myler. There is Anderson, here is Riley, and they go wide to Atkins. Oh, great ball from Atkins. What a try if it's given. Second try for Riley, but the referee will hand it upstairs again to Ben Taylor. Is there a hint of a foot in touch? I wonder if that's what they're looking at.
Fair play to Warrington, though. They really did risk it.
No, the ball's gone.
Ball is gone, and this will be try time for Riley. His second. The ball has gone away from Atkins before that foot hits a whitewash. Doesn't matter whether the other foot is elevated. That doesn't count. You've got to hit the whitewash or the ground over it, and this will be given. What a fight back. Tremendous second try by the winger, Chris Riley. There's confirmation.
25th try of the campaign then for Chris Riley. A really potent threat down that left-hand side. And Hull thinking they were going to turn around with a 6-point advantage if Westwood kicks this. We're going to be all square. Only 2 breaks, 2 tries, can't be bad.
This is all quality. We often talk about the link and the way that the fullback comes in on the angle. Great work, you know, by Atkins. They'd done the switch. Riley had gone into the centre position while Atkins had gone out onto the wing, and it has proved beneficial because Atkins have had the wherewithal to get the ball back on the inside. Great position. He passed it to Atkins to start with, this Chris Riley, and then took the inside pass. Boy, we got a game on here.
Well, last time we were here, Ben Westwood took a penalty shot against St Helens after the half-time siren had sounded, and he kicked it. It was about 40-45 metres away and bang in centre field. Well, he's closer now, but the angle, look at it. Target angle of just 4 degrees. But he's kicked one from over there tonight, and he has kicked another. 12 all, and Warrington have discovered that they have got a kicker to match anything in Super League this year in the shape of Ben Westwood. Well, it was first blood to Hull. Briscoe's try, Tickle in off the post, 6-0. Then Riley's first try. Westwood improved that from the touchline, 6-all. Luwaki's try looked as though it had given Hull an advantage going in at half-time, but Riley's second and Westwood's goal were all square.